Do you think anything would be wrong if you brought in basically like a whole meal, or you told your date, you're like, yo, put this, you know, is there a level to it? Like, could you only bring chocolate and like sneak chocolate in the purse? Or could you sit there and be like, yo,
life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.
yo, 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 what do you know? Welcome to In the Bowl podcast. Shout out to Hustle Five Ways for hosting. I'm your host, Nas.
It's your guy Tallman, live from Dubai.
And as always, In the Bowl podcast is sponsored by your nation's own #1 mobile hookah provider, where they not only do private events, they do wholesale distribution and take that experience to that next level. What's happening?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Chilling, man. I'm in my caveman mode. You know.
Yeah. You know, I kind of see. You know, the beanies out, the hoodies in full effect, man. I guess the weather has taken a little dip out there.
Taking just a little bit of a dip. You know, I had to get the whole thing together, man. It's kind of brick outside right now. But yeah, nah. And plus, you know, November, what's that? November. You know what I'm saying? So I'm staying away from shaving. So I'm going through that whole, you know, that caveman look. Kind of actually been enjoying it.
Yeah. Hey, man. Live freely, man.
Hey, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Live free. You know. That's what they say. It's one of the 12 pillars. You know what I'm saying? Be free.
Exactly.
Nah, man. But yeah, it's just good, man. You know, life is good. You know, as we've been talking about. You know, all November we talk about. You know, what's about to be on our plate. You know, we talked about plate vibrations and shit like that, where that whole plate vibration goes out the window. You know.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
And where we at?
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned that because you know we got a lot of interesting feedback, you know, off of last week's show. You know, I think everybody was in accordance with the Brussels sprouts, except for maybe one or two individuals that seemed, you know, seemed a little bothered, you know, by that statement. But everybody else was on board. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of, you know, catch a little flack behind you know, the whole, you know, get rid of the cranberry sauce thing. You know, somebody hit us up and said, you know, the what is it, Ocean Spray, you know, the folks who make the juice, I guess they have a, you know, solid cranberry sauce that I was not aware of, you know, so I'm not going to walk back my statement about, you know, getting rid of cranberry sauce, but I am going to say that it's definitely, you know, not for me. And those of you out there, you know, who feel as strongly and as emotionally tied to, you know, the cranberry sauce, you know, I'm gonna let you all be. You know, I mean, it's the day of Thanksgiving, so you know, give thanks, and if that's what makes you happy, I am not gonna stand in the way of your happiness.
I can't lie, that's what I think about, right? I think about that whole cranberry, you know, when they said the cranberry in the can. I'm not gonna lie, there's differences, right? You know, it's that cranberry in the can, I'm not gonna lie. Now I don't know if I'm gonna go with the 365, but cranberry in the can though on Thanksgiving, I'm not gonna lie, like you slice that stuff up, you know, like you slicing up spam or bologna type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit just
Potted
wobbles
meat,
on the
canned
plate.
meat.
That shit just wobbles and yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just wobbles on the plate. But I'm not gonna lie, that cranberry in the can is a staple, right? Is a staple. But then you think about those that, and it goes back to Brussels sprouts. Like I just don't get why people just can't keep it traditional. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this clip online, right? And it's been going around for a couple of years now, around this time every year, when they got this grandmother talking about Thanksgiving is not the time where you want to experiment.
This is
If
true.
if it is not your thing, don't do it. Like, it's cool. It's okay to say no. That's not what I can make, right? It's not my thing. I'm not gonna try it. I'm not gonna test it out. Because you do get, judged by the dish that you bring.
Oh, of
You know?
course.
So if you're the plate guy or the utensils or the napkins or the sodas, stay in your lane.
Condiments.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You are that's perfectly fine. Like, you're the perfect sixth man. Like, that's perfectly fine. Be the
Play your
sixth man.
role.
You know what I'm saying? Play your role. But don't fuck around and start trying to make, you know what I'm saying, like walnut strawberry jelly and shit like that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's when you start trying to go into these little home cooked magazines and say, I'm gonna try this shit for Thanksgiving. Don't fucking do it. Stay in your lane.
Yeah, I agree with you. We had a conversation last week with some good folks out here because we're doing a Friendsgiving,
Mm.
and we had already identified that we're going to do the turkey, we're going to do the mac and cheese, and like one other dish. The question was asked to me, well, why are you not going to let somebody else bring the mac and cheese? And my response was, straight up and honest that if we hadn't had anybody else's mac and cheese yet, and they're not known for the mac and cheese yet, we're not gonna roll the dice and have somebody bring the mac and cheese because that's one dish, outside of the turkey that you can't mess up, you can't go wrong, you can't roll the dice with. That has to be a solid side. So we
Yeah.
were talking with some folks and they were like, you know what, I totally agree with you and respect your decision because that's a huge gamble to take on unknown mac and cheese. I mean, it can go either way, but that's not the time to experiment. So I wholeheartedly agree with, what you said with, experimentation. I'm just extending that out to, individuals bringing dishes that, if it's unknown, that's also an experiment. And I agree with you.
Because you will get fried. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
You will get you will be the meme for the next 364 days, right? And unfortunately, when you get back invited, or if you get invited, re-invited to the next year's Thanksgiving, that's when people gotta start putting menus and assigning people to stuff. Stay in your lane. Once you start getting
Exactly.
assigned, it means unfortunately you've been identified as that's what you're going to be known for. Other than that, it's okay, you know,
Yeah.
and it's okay. Accept it. You'll be all right.
No, you're right. Now, I'm not gonna lie. There was also a comment that was a sleeper dish that was brought up. Green bean casserole, and I know you and I both have a very close compadre. Who when he shows up for Thanksgiving dinner, that is his go-to dish. I've not heard that man cook for maybe 4 or 5 different dishes, but the green bean casserole seems like it's at the top of the list. So to those folks out there that enjoy a good green bean casserole, hey, shout out to you all too. We're sorry we left you all off the food chart.
And I'm with you on that, but again, I think there should just be there's certain dishes that just got to make the table, right? And everything else is just an extra. Sometimes bonus, sometimes a negative, right? You got your turkey, you got your whatever meat. I think you definitely have 2 or 3 meats, right? You got your bread, whatever that may be. You got your greens,
Yeah.
okay? And you can have green beans or string
All right.
beans.
I'm
Okay?
with you.
Mac and cheese. You can have either mashed potatoes or yams. I'm on the fence for yams because some people do the sweet potato pie, so that can be like an overkill. But I'm on the fence. I guess you can try to kind of do both.
Yeah.
You have your cranberry sauce. Again, that's that. Now we're starting to get pulled to the bench. right? We're starting to pull the items off the bench, right?
Oh, you can't leave the dressing out. You gotta have,
Dre-
you know, some dressing.
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I completely forgot. You know, I completely forgot about that. But outside of that, man, I just don't know what else you would add. Like again, like I'm not even casserole. I'm still trying to figure out what casserole really is. I gotta really look up what the definition of what a casserole really consists of, besides like a cream of mushroom that goes into whatever you just throw in there. It's just a hodgepodge of shit.
Yeah, and I think some fried onions or something along those lines. You know, I see it in pictures. I think I've only had green bean casserole maybe 2 or 3 times in life. You know, so I'm definitely not the expert to speak on that
I mean, I've seen it. It's never made my plate, so I can't even tell you if I ever had. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it, and even part of the meats. I think you should have a fish. You can have two. You know what I'm saying? You can have two a red meat if you want to, and then you gotta have turkey. Now the question
one.
is it fried turkey, smoked turkey, or just a real old school baked turkey, or whatever, baked, roasted, whatever the fuck you want to call it? It's
Well, I
those
think
three.
it depends on the size of the dinner party. You know, what I mean, if you have a large group of people coming over, you know, you may need 2 turkeys. You know, so you could have the traditional one, you could have the fried one, you could have you know, jerk turkey and fused turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, when you have bigger parties, you can definitely increase the turkey variety. You know, but if it's
Yeah,
5 people sitting around the table, you know, 2 turkeys may be aggressive. You know, especially if you're talking about something that's 16, 20 pounds. You know,
fair.
that may be a bit much. But you know, I mean, afterwards, you know, I mean, with turkey, you know, you can always make a couple sandwiches out of that. You know, make some
Yeah.
soup. You know, make turkey salad. You know, so I mean, it's a couple different things you can do with the leftover turkey.
That is very true. That is very true. You know, and then everyone always makes that turkey soup afterwards. I mean, after Thanksgiving, you got like 5 or 7 days of just turkey sandwich, turkey stew. You know what I'm saying? You got some turkey salad, whatever the fuck you start making. You just start getting creative with it. You know?
And I think after Thanksgiving, that is probably one of the few times in a year, where I'll break out some mayo to put on the sandwich. Because
Yeah,
turkey got to have mayo. Now, granted, it may be like a chipotle mayo or something with a little
I was gonna say that.
little kick to it. I don't know about the good old fashioned plain mayo. I am not a huge mayo fan. Especially by itself. But
Yeah.
that would be the only time of year, that the thought would cross my mind to possibly use, some standard mayo, on a sandwich.
Yeah. No, agreed. Nah, man, but yeah, man, it's Thanksgiving time, man. But I've been watching the news lately, right? And I know a lot of times we talk about like what's in the entertainment world, and some stuff we talk about, I shouldn't, probably bring up. I gotta, we don't really talk about politics and shit like that on here, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we're not on any kind of agenda to sway anyone in any direction. However, I was watching the news the other day, and they were talking about they're now redefending same-sex marriages, right?
Hmm.
And when I saw that, I was just so confused. Like I really had to go back and really read it and figure out like what the fuck was going on, right?
Okay.
And I just feel that the fact that we're going back over this again and redefending, or certain parties are trying to take it away, the fucking stupidest thing in the fucking world. It always goes back to like I just feel like there's so many more important things to deal with, right? I feel like I mean you got all these mass shootings, definitely, the big news that happened at UVA, you know what I'm saying, where
Yeah.
3 brothers was killed, 2 were injured, by even one of their teammates. It's just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, we really spending time on shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my whole position is, I have my own point of views when it comes to that, to certain communities and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, where's the real shit at, right? It's just like, let people just live, right? Let people live, right? And let's focus on what's really going on in America, right? Let's focus on like starvation, right? It's just like, why are we talking more about that than, you know what I'm saying, like coat drives and shit like that, and trying to, while we're about to stuff our face with fucking turkey and throw probably, 30% of away because they may not make it, you know what I'm saying? Or, you're buying all these extra ingredients and just spending money. People out here starving, people out here freezing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about adults, right? Talking about like kids, because unfortunately they have no control of it. They can't even work if they wanted to work. You know what I'm saying? Because of their age, but because of the family dynamics or situations that they're in, that they had no choice to be in, they're fucking hungry. But we're sitting here dealing with something that's already been established. Just let it go, let it fucking move. They're not fucking bothering you. You know what I'm saying? But we over here sitting here talking about that. It's like AI, man. We talking about practice. Get the fuck out of here. Leave me alone. So I don't know, man. That's just been on my mind. I just been thinking about how stupid this shit is. It's just wild, Christmas commercials coming on before October, before Halloween. You're like, damn, man, let this, what the fuck?
Exactly. A month-long Black Friday.
But we talking about same-sex marriages, man. Just let the people, let them be, man. Let. If that's what you want to do, if they're not bothering you, you know what I'm saying? They're not causing you no harm. Like, let it go. Why not? Why not work on like these mass shootings and how easy it is just to get a gun? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
why are we even dealing with that? Why don't we really focus on what the problem is at hand, right? And I don't know, man. It's just a sad world, man. But yeah, I'm over here just cooling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's things are definitely getting interesting as the year winds down. Because I know last week was kind of a crazy week because linked up with some folks who were in town from the DMV and went to check out this Friday brunch. So I know back home brunch is big on Saturday and Sunday, but checked out a spot that had a Friday brunch. So I was like, all right, this is a little different, because the work week out here, the standard work week, prior to my arrival, was Sunday through Thursday. I mean, yeah, Sunday through Thursday. So Friday and Saturdays were the weekend. So there's still some spots out here that have Friday brunches. So I went to check out this spot, Zero Gravity, which is it's a cool location, from where it is. It's kind of right by the water. It's like a wild beach party. But when I tell you that, upon stepping in there, I remember back in the day on MTV, they used to have, MTV Spring Break. And, it kind of had, that energy to it. I mean, there was a lot of like EDM and, fist pumping and, smoke machines. And I'm like, all right, this is not bad. But I will say, surprisingly, because a lot of places where you go out here, you hear a lot of Afro beats, you hear a lot of dance hall, you get some rap mixed up in there. But this is probably one of the first times I've been to a event out here where there was no Afro beats, and when I say reggae, there was a little reggae soca. It was kind of infused over some other beats, but it was different though.
Yeah.
It was different, but it was good catching up, with our folks out here. Anytime anybody travels out here to the sandbox, definitely try to link up with people and at least have a beverage or have some shisha or something. But I was just in awe, because right after that event, we left to go check out, and I hope that you've seen it. We went to go see Black Panther 2. So tell me some good news. Have you seen Black Panther 2 yet?
I have not.
Oh man.
I have not. I got invited to see it this weekend, but now I'm gonna wait.
Oh man.
I'm gonna wait to see it. I'm gonna wait to see it. I'm gonna wait to see it. I'm gonna check it out in theaters. But I'm not even a movie theater person, to be honest. I fucking hate the movies.
Nah,
I,
me too. Me too.
I fucking hate the movies. And now, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are certain movies I will support. There have been certain movies I have been to that I really did not want to go to, but I have done it. Right? Yeah. There's just certain movies I can get dragged to, I guess, right? But this family here is not a movie theater person, you know what I'm saying? Folks who ever watched the movie with us will always know that I press pause. I don't talk. I press pause, get up, grab a beverage, I stretch, maybe grab a bite to eat, you know.
Yeah.
Depending on the movie, there's a certain topic that may pull up, and I'm like, damn, you see that? It's crazy. Have a conversation about it. What you think about it, type of shit, right? But yeah, I'm not a movie theater person. It's like it's just not me. It's just And there's some people that go to movie theaters by themselves, and that just amazes me, right? It's like, how much peace do you need? Like you really gotta take yourself out of the world to a dark room, you know what I'm saying, by yourself, where no one could find you and you have to turn your phone off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't do movie theaters. I just movies are not my thing. But again, there's certain movies I definitely will say you have to see in a movie theater so you get a certain effect. Black Panther is definitely one of those. You know what I'm saying? There's certain movies that you definitely go to support. You know, but yeah, fuck a movie theater. I'm not a movie theater person. So I'm not rush, but I will see it. You know what I'm saying, in the movie theater.
Well, next week, we can jump more, into the, movie itself. But, I was content. I think they did a really good job at, dealing with, the situation of the loss of, Chadwick Boseman and honoring him. So, I mean, that was straight. I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. I'll probably, watch it one more time because, the movie is. I know you're saying, that, in the house, you pause and you stretch and you go get a beverage and, might have some food. I definitely want to get prepared because the movie is about 2 hours and maybe 30 minutes, give or take.
See?
So it's definitely, where you need a comfortable chair, and that brings me to my whole thing. So I'm not going to name drop the theater we went to, but of course, everything out here in Dubai is bigger and better. So we were, anticipating that this theater was going to be off the hook, right? So it's like, all right, they got a little menu, get the food, bet, I'm with it, So skip dinner was like, all right, but, we're gonna eat the movie theater. So let me preface that with, this is the guy who used to live, down the street from an iPic theater, where you had reclining seats and, you
Yeah.
had the button, where you could, order your beverages and order, a good solid meal, from the restaurant. So that's kind of what I'm accustomed to. My AMC popcorn days are long behind us. I'm like you. I don't go to the movie theater often. So when I go to the movie theater, I want an experience.
That's what it is.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So the theater we went to, beautiful theater. You know, I'm talking about from the bathrooms and everything, just solid. But the food was lackluster. End up having some onion rings and nachos and just basic food. I was looking for
Microwavable.
something. Exactly. So we checked out that one theater brand, and I was like, all right. So we kind of checked the box on that one. So, the next time, we're gonna go to, another brand and, see if they're doing something, a little different. 'Cause like I said, I can't just do the basic, average. And that's how it felt. But
Yeah.
We were there for a cause, to support, Black Panther 2, which I think they set some sort of record. I want to say they sold like 330 million, the first weekend. So it was definitely a good showing, with folks coming out to see it, and
Yeah.
it was good. But like I said, the whole movie theater experience, still trying to find my way, in that area.
I get you. And it's funny you say that, right? So you think about the movie theater, right? Right. It's the movie theater is key, right? So we always talk about as you get older, there's certain things. So if I'm going to see a movie, I want to be comfortable. So I agree with you. I pick is kind of where it's at. Now we don't like the name drop, but there's a certain caliber kind of movie you want to see and your environment
Exactly.
to be in. But my issue with them is, no matter how comfortable it is, and it goes back to the thing, right? And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like I kind of want my drink when I want my drink. But there's like 50 people at the bar, and there's like one bartender, right? And the motherfucker goes, "Dang," you know, and you're just like, nah, like it's just nah. It's when you press that button, literally it gets to the point to where it takes you like I don't know 45 minutes to get another drink. And shit, the movie's just about fucking over.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's nah, man. Like, I want to get up, press pause, go grab my beverage, come back, watch some more of it, press pause, grab a beverage, come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a routine. I want to be comfortable. I want my creature comforts. And so when it starts getting to the point to where, I got to wait 45 minutes for another drink, because they don't even come back around. They're like, going around, they're trying to get their popcorns first. It's like a routine they go through, right? So they give whoever ordered popcorn, they get popcorn first. And then they'll come back, grab your drink, give you your drink. But it takes 50 minutes for a drink. That's even probably for the first round. So you got to get there early. Can't stand that shit. Fucking hate it. Hate
Oh
it, hate
man.
it, hate it. And
Knock
that
on wood,
blanket, that blanket they give you, it's like that makes me nervous, right? It's like,
it's like an airplane blanket.
yeah, like I don't, yeah, I'm good on that blanket. Like that blanket thing, man. It's like I don't know who the fuck was sitting on that blanket, but you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of shit that can happen with those blankets, right? And you know,
It's some nasty folks out there.
I'm just saying, I don't know how hygienic that is. And then you got motherfuckers carrying bed bugs with them. So now I got on the blanket, now it's in the seat. She's like, come on, man, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm good, man. There's just certain things I just can't rock with on that one. But I do agree. If you're going to the movies, you should definitely step up the game. And if you're going to see it, be comfortable, you know. Now, let me ask you a question. Going to the movies, you think anything's wrong? Going to the movies, you think anything's wrong if you was on a date, right?
Okay.
Do you think anything will be wrong if you brought in basically like a whole meal or you told your date, you're like, yo, put this, you know, is there a level to it? Like, could you only bring chocolate and like sneak chocolate in the purse? Or could you sit there and be like, yo, stop by and get us a Chipotle bowl, you know what I'm saying? Get us a burrito bowl or, a box of chicken or something like that. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Do you think there's a limit that, the envelope could be pushed too far?
Yeah, I mean, especially, if you're going to a basic, run of the mill theater, then you bring some snacks in there. I kind of get it. Like I said, you want your level of comfort. And if, nachos and popcorn and, Raisinets ain't going to do it for you, then, you may need something. But in the past, I have been a part of parties, that bought, food into the outside food into the theater. But I think there's a limit, when you start, bringing out, real cutlery, for your meals and, all kind of sauces and things like that. You kind of going up above and beyond. Now, if you have, a Chipotle bowl, all right, look, you kind of got everything in the bag. It's already been jazzed up the way you want it. Now you just gotta mix it up and you gotta roll with it. But if you had like hitting a restaurant, getting appetizers and trays and things like that, and setting up your own little table. And yeah, you kind of doing too much because if you're rustling through the bag, making all that noise,
Mhm.
it's kind of an annoyance.
No,
So I think there's a level.
see, that's what I'm saying. People like you, I sit there and be like, I want to be comfortable because if I start ruffling through my bag, you start hearing chips and start and all this extra shit, that is annoying. I would be annoyed, right? So I just like to be in my own comfortable space. I can make all the noise I want to. You know what I'm saying? I can do what I want.
But now, like I said, I'm with you. I'm with you. If you're at the AMC, then yeah, I get it. Because also, you can't expect, when you go to certain theaters, there's a level of expectation. You know, so if I'm at an AMC, then I'm like, all right, whatever happens in here, this is kind of what I signed up for. But if I just dropped, $25, for per ticket or $30 per ticket, and this theater has a restaurant. And here you are, bringing in some Chipotle. Now I'm definitely gonna look at you sideways because I'm like, I understand you may have had a need or a want, to have Chipotle, but you got this full menu here with everything. So I mean, it's kind of like in that situation, you're doing a little too much.
But do you want them to have the microwave onion rings? They want some
Now,
good
see that
food. You can't be mad
now,
at
now
that.
but that's why I said it. If we're at the AMC, then I get you bringing your meal in there. But if you have a restaurant that has a full menu, with a sauce that you can dip your sandwich in, and wild
Right?
salads and burgers and short ribs, and you come in with Chipotle, then yeah, I'm gonna look at you different.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear
So I think it all depends on the environment. That's what it comes
you.
down to.
Yeah, know your environment. You know what I'm saying? Know where you're at. Know what movie theater you're about to go to. So, like I said, but then like I was also saying, when it comes to the movie theaters, I just think that you just got to deal with. There's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. You just can't control that environment. And that's another thing, man. I like to control where I'm at. At least to the best of my ability. Can't do that all the time, obviously, if you go out and about. But when it gets down
Yeah.
to it, movie theaters. But I will support. I will support. You know what I'm saying, that, and I did. I will sit there and say I thought it was. I thought it was awfully amazing. I was fascinated how many people wore white
Mm.
to the movies. Right, it was like a whole movement. You know what I'm saying, wearing white.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool because it was like the complete opposite of what it was, right? But it's like white, like the peace, the love. You know what I'm saying, celebration, life. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times for death, you wear black, and then you got Black Panther. So I find
Exactly.
it fascinating, how ironic it was. A lot of people, different groups, all the states, wherever you was at, there would be a mob of folks in white. So I thought that was dope. I thought that was,
Nah,
I thought that was interesting.
that's
I
cool.
thought that was kind of cool. I don't know if I would wear white, but you know,
Yeah, I'm about to say you're gonna break out your white linen pants and
I'm a
your
white
button
tee.
down.
I'm a white tee guy. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I'm white. I can dress up a white tee like nobody's business. So so that's my shebang right there. But I thought it was cool though. So definitely, I'm gonna check it out. Definitely got support. I want to see it in the movies, get that full
Yeah,
effect.
yeah,
Like you said, I'll probably watch it a second time, comes back out, watching the comfort of my home. But that's what.
yeah. Nah. I agree with you, man. It's definitely a good showing. Marvel. And I know they had 2 years to kind of put things together. Is it 2 years? Yeah, about 2 years, some change, give or take.
Yeah,
Don't quote me, but it was solid. It was solid.
that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Man. So what else you got going on?
No, those have been like my biggest, man. Like And you think about again, man. I think a lot right now is just more in just in that news era right now, and not getting into it, but people rerunning for election, so it's just very interesting of where we're at in this world, right? And it's I don't know, man. It's like, man, it's that time where motherfuckers better buckle up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
And so I try not to think about that, but that's just where it's at, man. Like I said, man, that school shooting, man, that was a lot. It's just like, damn, man, people just can't even go to school now. It's just people can't go to movie theater. You know? So not much on my side, man. I think those are probably some of my biggest. What you got?
Oh, well, another thing that seemed to spark some controversy, and I haven't seen it all yet, so I really can't go too in depth, but you know, uh, Dave Chappelle hosted Saturday Night Live,
Yes.
and there was some pushback, from the writers of the writers. I think they were threatening to, you know, walk out or not participate, because they were unhappy with, some of the things he had said and, a previous, stand up. But the show went on, and Chappelle was there, and during his monologue, he said some things, about Kanye that is somewhat ruffled, some folks' feathers. So like I said, I have not seen, the full clip yet or the show yet, which I want to check out this weekend.
Yeah.
So next week, I'll probably, have a little bit more insight and, comments, about, what was said. But all I know is that, there was a lot of pushback on, having him host that show.
And I'm glad you said that, though, right? I think that, that's why, I'm going to go to the movie theaters, right? It's like we got to continue to support each other. I think, there's some things we may not agree with and stuff like that, right? And I don't think you have to agree with everything that everyone says, but I will sit there for when it comes to Kyrie and Kanye. Kanye said definitely some wild shit, you know. I think, unfortunately, Kyrie just had bad timing. I think it gets down to the part to where there's been, some commentary on how harsh the penalties we get, and that's in all facets, right? It's like even like that war on drugs, right? It's in our communities, right? It's like we get the harshest penalties, right? Like you get a harder penalty for selling drugs than you will for rape. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, I feel that the shit that's been said or done, I get it. I know they're probably hurt communities and shit like that, but it's like it's still just showing how much control and how much, it's we're minimized in our thoughts, right? It's I don't know, man. I'm such on the fence because even we talked about it before. I was like, yeah, you got the First Amendment, freedom of speech, but you gotta still be careful about it because you gotta look at the color of your skin at the end of the day. Because guess what? If someone don't like it and they part of that community and they got a voice, unfortunately, someone's gonna be bigger and badder than you are. It's gonna shut your shit down.
Yeah.
And they sitting there now talking about Kyrie can't come back and shit like that, and definitely or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like I just
Yeah.
for all the other shit that's ever been said against us, what happened to that? Right? What happened to people doing these killings and going after communities and shit like that and making mockeries or what I'm saying, people doing blackface, politicians, I mean, when they were younger, I mean, there's evidence of in pictures, but they're still in seats, still running and shit like that. But that's okay though, right? It's you get slapped on your wrist, you keep it moving. So yeah, man, I'm just unfortunate, like they say, man, you ain't got the right skin. What does it say? You don't got the right complexion for the protection, or whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? And I think people just forget that, and it's fucked up, man. So, you know, I think even for when you go back to Dave Chappelle's monologue, people get mad at people because they tell them the truth. And Dave Chappelle was just saying how he felt. That was his truth. That's what he felt. That's how, you know, how he, you know, thought about the situation. And I can't be mad at him. I mean, he said what he said. He made some valid points in there. You may not like it. You may not like me, but again, my opinion, it's a personal problem.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, his perception is his truth, and I think one of the things that I've heard, you know, over and over, you know, probably the last week or so has been that, you know, if a person has, you know, perception and that's their truth, and someone else has a perception that's different from them and that's their truth, that it's a good segue to actually sit down and have those hard conversations, you
Agreed.
know, for some clarity. And I think that's where we fall short, is we constantly, you know, go back and forth with not depending, defending and kind of reiterating our points versus sitting down and having those conversations to talk through it and see where there is common ground. You know, everybody is just in, you know, the defense attorney mode, and you know they're just talking past each other. And maybe one day, you know, we'll get to the point of when, you know, folks can sit down and have those hard conversations instead of just
Yeah.
throwing, you know, darts and daggers and accusations and cancellations, you know, back and forth, because it's easier to throw a dart, you know, back at somebody versus, you know, sitting down and having those hard conversations.
No, I agree, and I think you made a great point, right? People sit there and say they want conversations, right? But do they really want to have those tough conversations, right? You know, you got all these people throwing out DEI and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially after George Floyd, right? Like that was like I never seen a position so big in my life, like so fast. A DEI, you had it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But like after that happened, like it just fucking blew up, right? It just spread, right? And so, you know, you had all these companies that were talking about it and saying this is what we believe in, whoop, whoop, whoop. But it's still a fucking limit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I don't think folks are really ready to have those tough conversations. I think they talk about it, but they ain't really about it.
Oh, exactly.
So, you know, I think it's, you know, so unfortunately, like I'm just not even bought into that whole scene and scenario of where, yeah, you want to, but there's going to be a limit to it, right? I think there's a lot of companies that say, well, we want to work on getting certain markets and getting certain demographics, you know, employed, and there's also a limit as to how high some of those positions are going to be able to go. You know what I'm saying? There's still going to be potentially
Yeah.
a glass ceiling.
Yeah.
You know? Because there's only but so much that someone's going to let you have, unfortunately. It's just, I think it's bullshit, man. I think I'm just not sold on it yet, because again, we have situations like this, but you still got people that, you know, they say they want it, but when that conversation comes up, it's like you still got to be censored.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it. I'm not sold on it, you know, and I take my hat off to people that are willing to push that envelope. And I'm talking, you know what I'm saying? If you are able to articulate it, you know, properly, and you can, you know, speak upon fact, you know, then say it, you know, let's talk about it. But if you can't,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hear that shit. Like, shut the fuck up. Don't sit here and get mad all of a sudden because, you know what I'm saying, you dish something and you can't take it.
Now, speaking of dishes, you know, you just made me think about something else that happened this weekend. You know, so again, since the weather is starting to break here, starting to get out more and do more and see more places. So went to the beach, this weekend on or last weekend on Saturday, and went to the spot that had a private beach. So I'm not gonna name drop, but I will describe it, right.
Yeah.
So this is a location, where they have, a gym, on site, so you can, pay, you get a day pass, you can go work out, use the gym, use the facilities, and then they got a pool, and then, also they have a day party, and then they have, access to the beach. It was like, all right, cool, go check this out, so ordered some food there. It was just a rough weekend with food. You
Yeah.
know, that's what it comes down to. It's one of those weekends.
Yeah.
So, I ordered the fish and chips, right? So let me ask you a question. If you order fish and chips, what are two condiments that should come with that meal as a staple? It shouldn't be a question.
It should be
You
tartar
got
sauce and ketchup.
That's my point exactly. So they bought me the fish and chips, right? All they bought me was tartar sauce. So I asked the server, I said, "Hey, look, man, can I get a side of ketchup?" I didn't even ask for hot sauce. I said ketchup
Yeah, I
on my
didn't get.
fries.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Not people about that life. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, I agree. I'm with you. Go ahead.
And he proceeds to tell me, "Oh, I gotta put it I gotta ring the order in, and there's an additional charge for ketchup." And I was like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Well, how much is the ketchup?" He was like, "Yeah, it's like 15 dirhams. 15 dirhams equates to like $5 US." I'm like, hold on. So I gotta pay $5 to get ketchup for my fries? And he was like, "Yeah, that's the way it's set up. The dish only comes with tartar sauce and this and that." I'm like, "Nah, man, that
You
is
get the whole.
outrageous." Huh?
You get the whole bottle of ketchup. Fuck out of here. What's wrong with you?
Exactly. So I sat there in content. And the sad part is it was a damn good fish. The fish was solid.
Mm.
But I'm sitting here eating my fries with angst. I'm upset. Each bite of the fries, I'm just getting more worked up about the situation. So I'm like, man, how are you going to charge extra for ketchup when ketchup should be coming with the dish?
Yeah, no, that's not. See, stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, man. I have been a person where I, I got some wings, right, and I wanted blue cheese with my wings, and they say they don't have blue cheese. I said, well, take the wings back. I don't even want the shits. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't
Yeah,
even, that doesn't even make sense. Like no, it's you can buy 20 bottles of ketchup and like, come on, you're wild. Just give me a little, you know what I'm saying, a little tumbler of fucking ketchup, put a little dollop on my plate or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even asking you for the
yeah,
whole. Give me a dollop.
exactly.
Fucked up. Yeah, no
No,
bueno. Yeah, I
yeah,
would that person like take this shit back. I don't even want it. So now you just wasted
I,
food, you know, and now you gotta
I
find
agree.
something else.
I agree. So that kind of got under my skin. So I was
Yeah,
like, come on, man, I ain't charging extra for ketchup. But now setting the scene. So like I said, this is a spot that has a gym. And I mean, there's certain, gym goers. I'm a gym guy, not
yeah,
not a gym rat, but I'm a gym guy. So I mean, when you got, I mean, folks walk around and now they're moving their arms, poking their chest out. I'm like, come on, man, you're doing too much. People are here to relax. So it was comical to sit back and kind of people watch. This whole environment because it was like two worlds meshed into one, but
yeah.
it was definitely a interesting experience. But outside of the whole catch-up fiasco, we know someone that knows someone there. So I'm not gonna put them on the ban list like I did with Chick-fil-A of saying, hey, I'm never
Yeah.
coming back. But overall, the experience was a good experience.
That should put that shit. I'd be like, you know what? I'm good. There's this restaurant out here. I went there one time. They had something in the menu. They have these no menu type things, right? I went there one time and they kind of really sold me on the dish. Went back there, they didn't have it. I said, well, all right, well, I'm gonna go somewhere else. I sat down and everything, had me a cup of water, started a beverage, finished my beverage, and said, all right, I'll get the check and go somewhere else. Like, that's what I wanted, right? It's really the reason why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, no bueno. No bueno for that. I would walk out.
You know, I think we're approaching, you know, that part of the show. You know, the sun has came up over my shoulders. It's daylight outside. It's almost time to, you know, get into that phone booth and transform and, you know, get into work mode. So what you got going on this weekend?
Shit, prepping for, you know what I'm saying, for the food marathon. Prepping for that. Nah, man, we're getting together, you know, doing a couple Friendsgivings. You know, not really technically a Friendsgiving, but just some little gatherings, a couple little beer gardens and stuff like that. You know, it's just that season type of thing. So be out and about, just chill and, you know, just get ready for a chill week. You know, family, friends, loved ones, eat good. You know.
Sounds good.
You know, take those walks with cousins and shit like that. You know, and just you know. Little shit like that, man. But
that's what's up.
Yeah. What you got what you got?
Oh man, well it's definitely gonna be a full weekend, you know, out here. We got our boy Shampoo is flying in about 24 hours, you know, so he touches down, you know, tomorrow morning. You know, so he's coming in town for the World Cup. You know, we got tickets to a game, you know, so we got that locked in. So we're gonna go to Doha, out to Qatar or Qatar, you know, however you want to, you know, pronounce it. You know, so we got a game out there and then fly back at like 3 a.m. And as we're flying back, you know, on Thanksgiving Day, you know, so we're gonna have a, you know, Friendsgiving, you know, at the crib and, you know, got some folks coming through, you know, so it should be a good time. It's guaranteed to be a good weekend and a long weekend. You know, I hit up, you know, one of my boys out here who's kind of been like our UAE Sherpa, you know, with putting us on the spot, you know. So I told him, you know, I asked him some folks coming in town, and man, this man jumped right on it. You know, he's lining up, you know, all kind of events. I'm like, hey, slow down, man, slow down. You know, I mean, we, you know, hit one here and there, but you know, not trying to do, you know, the whole weekend, but you know, but we'll see, man. So it should be a, you know, good time out here. You know, weather is supposed to be cooling off a little bit more next week. I think next week we're down into the 80s consistently. You know, so it'll be time to put my flip flops up. You know, slide on my Sambas. You know, no more. You know, walk around in the morning. You know, with you know, with your feet out. You know, it's getting a little chilly in the morning and chilly at night, but. It's all good, man. I'm not gonna complain. You know, I saw, you know, freeze warnings, you know, for the DMV. I saw, you know, snow in, you know, the Midwest and in the Northeast. So definitely not gonna complain about my weather situation out here. I'm just gonna take it all in stride.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. I guess, you know, it's cold as shit out here. You know, it's a good season. It's my favorite season, man. As you can see, it's hoodie season. You know, it's hoodie season. It's what we do.
It's all good, man. Hey, well, before we get out of here, you know, once again, shout out to Sheesh to You. Don't forget you can follow them on IG. You can keep up with us on Twitter at In the Bowl Pod. You know, we always say we are two highly opinionated individuals, you know, so if we said something that struck a chord with you, you have a comment or feedback, you know, definitely let us know. You know, we are not afraid to interact and have those conversations. We're here for it, you know, so if you have an opinion, share it, you know, let's talk about it. And last but not least, don't forget to keep those hookahs clean after every use. Make sure you rinse it out, clean it out, so that way when you're ready to smoke again, your equipment is good to go. You know, you're reducing your setup time, you know. So until next week, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
And as always, click like and subscribe.
Hustle 5 Ways Radio.